Alright, so let's watch this thing. Opening the rando prac hack just to show things. It's easier to do it that way. Also, hi, I'm Sean, also known as secretly as Sliver. I mostly am a speedrunner, but was a participant in the 2022 mentor tournament and have been a mentor and a restreamer since then. So let's get it started. Come on. You didn't start your timer, which is fine. You don't have to. All right. What did we get from Link's house? So you're doing a lot of cardinal movement here, and so diagonals are the shortest distance between 2 points, and we have full use of our diagonals here. When you're going up or left, Link moves an average of 1.5 pixels per frame. And when you're moving right and down, it's also 1.5 pixels per frame, but right and up, there are, like, your initial speed is faster. So it alternates between 2 pixels and 1 pixel. But a diagonal is not only a shorter path, but it's also just a flat 2 pixels per frame. So assuming you want to move diagonally, you're moving toward your goal faster. So, more diagonals. Shit. Yeah, and you're taking this super long path here. You don't have to go beyond here. You can squeeze past this guy. So like, just kind of stay tight to where you're going, and then you can just squeeze past this guy. So what most people will do, oops. What most people will do here is they will grab this sign. This is not the correct overworld setting. Hold on. So this will be the pre-Aghanim Light world. So what most people will do is they'll come up here, just kind of stay on the left edge of the screen because you're going left. Pick up this sign, just walk up here. You can just walk right past him, he won't hit you. Just dodge him if he... Then they kill that guy, and then get this tree pull. So tree pulls, you can pull the tree at any time, and different prizes will drop off of it depending on how many enemies you've killed. So if you've killed 1 through 3 enemies, it'll be 1 drop. If you've killed 4 enemies and taken damage since the last time you pulled a tree, then that will be tier 2. If you kill 4 enemies and you have not taken damage since the last time you pulled a tree, then it will give you a different prize. So there are 3 different prizes that you can get via tree pull, just depending on things. The only one worth checking is usually just the tier 1, because that's the easiest one to get to. There are ways that you can set up a tier 2 tree pull, but it's almost never worth it. This is a Assured Sword, though, so you may just want to do Front of Escape. If you're concerned about having a tier 2 tree pull, you can just do Front of Escape, and then that'll give you your enemy kills. Oh, why are you skipping Uncle? Oh, you're not. Just forgot about it. Okay. Oh, yeah. So you tried to do the tree pull, but you hadn't killed anything, and that's because you didn't take the sign up to the thing. I would usually grab one of these pots. It's never good to be running around for an extended period of time with zero magic, even though you don't currently have any magic items. You will eventually get them, and you want magic by the time you get them. Okay. So you can go through here. I would say the easiest way to do this would be to just cut the last bush and then keep your sword out, and then you should be able to get past. You didn't need to kill that guy. So, yeah, that guy hit you, and a big focus of Zelda games is to kill enemies and get stuff, but as soon as you leave this room, that guy doesn't exist anymore. So, like, you can see it's a much shorter path to just leave the room than to go all the way up here and grab that pot and kill that guy. Okay, what you did worked there, but it just took a while. You have the right idea here. Most people are going to do this, trap the guy against the statue. What you probably saw and are trying to emulate is something... This is kind of difficult, but... Something like this, but... This is not worth it. This is too difficult. This. Yeah, you're picking up too many pots here, but yeah, there are certain situations where you want to just like ignore guys, so it's a good call to just ignore him here and walk around the statue. Although it does make you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like 8 tiles out of your way. So I said 1.5 pixels per frame. So 8 times 16, 128 pixels divided by 1.5 per frame. So you just lost 85 frames. That's almost a second and a half by doing that. So how you can avoid doing that is to just use your sword, get him out of there, and take the shorter path. Yeah, that's correct. Just do it faster. So for this key guard, you want to bait him toward the center of the room, and you do that by tinking your sword off the door. And then you can just get your item and wait for the key to fall. The other popular way you're gonna see to do this is like that. That's not really worth it unless you have the boomerang, because then you have to do like half of the room there and half of the room back. So it's a lot better to just tink your sword off of here, unless you have a way to get the key. Alright, it's gonna take you way too long to get anywhere from here, and you had to kill the green guard, so it's like... yeah, walking out of here is not worth it, you should just save and quit. You save and quit, and then you come back for Dark Cross later. This is one of those situations that, like, just because you can do this doesn't mean that it's a good play. So here, we'll go back to when you open this chest. So the save and quit should have come like slightly before right there, which is at 7:58 on the video. And then when do you get back to the lobby here? $9:11. So that took you what, 1 minute and 13 seconds to walk all the way back here. I guess we can figure out how long it takes from... well, it's a lot faster to do it from Back of Escape, but it's also faster to just do it from Link's house. So from a save and quit, bring up live split here. Yeah, hold please. Okay. We're gonna add 12.5 seconds to whatever this time ends up being. And this is the post-Agolite world, so this is the harder one. And you normally won't have those mirror portals, but that will conveniently be about the same time as the save and quit. So even with taking 2 extra mirror portals, that takes like just under 30 seconds to get back. So that's, or I guess it would be 32. So 32 seconds to save and quit and walk back, versus the, what was it, minute and 13 that you took. So that's 40 seconds of time that you can save just by saving and quitting instead of walking all the way back. Yeah, so you're navigating these rooms pretty well, which tells me that you've definitely practiced them. The thing is, you need at least one glove for Dark World access, and that also gives you access to the gravestone. So sometimes walking the long way through Front of Escape will be required, but most times it will not be. The only way that it's actually going to be required is if your only glove is in the back of Escape. That does not happen very, very often. There's 54 Sphere 1 checks, and 3 of them are those 3 chests right there. So, and the glove doesn't even have to be in Sphere 1. It can be in Sphere 2 or Sphere 3. Or it could just not even show up until the end of the game. So you really can't assure yourself that this play is ever going to be worth it, because it's so much faster to just fall down, especially because this is out of logic. So when you're doing checks, when you're deciding whether to do a check out of logic or not, you have to weigh how much time is it going to take you versus just finding the thing that puts it in logic. This is one of the slowest checks in the entire game. So a lot of people rate their checks per minute. Okay, so let's go back to Ball and Chain. So you get this at about 7:58, give or take. Your next check isn't made here until oh, you even went back here without bombs. Wow. Okay. So 7:58 to 10:15. So you went 2 minutes and 17 seconds between checks here. And then come on. And then until you get to Back of Escape and you make your first check here, that's 11:13. So that's another 58 seconds, but you do get 3 checks for those 58 seconds. So if you had just waited for the glove and fallen down and gotten these checks, you would have saved an immense amount of time. Yeah, and you can save and quit straight to Sanctuary here, so we'll time this. So 11:16, that's when you should have saved and quit. And now you're not getting the Sanct check for what did I say? 11:16, so that took 34 seconds versus a save and quit, which would have taken about 12. So there are a lot of things that are losing you time here. Just in this first little thing. The thing about open mode is you don't have to do escape first. That's why people ended up liking it more, because it's a little more open, and you can it's a little better for route innovation. So I would definitely not do escape, especially because it's in the dark and out of logic. And you could have gotten those boots from the word go. I'm gonna speed this up to 2 times speed, because I think I said most of the movement stuff that I wanted to say. Yeah, I like this. I like the lumberjack check here, just because you're already 2 items close to it, so. Might as well just make sure there's nothing there while you're in the neighborhood. I would not be skipping heart pieces. You never know how many heart pieces you're gonna get for any given seed. Like, if you have to go into the dark world on your current health, the difference between, like, being closer to a heart container and not being close to a heart container can be the difference between life and death. Once you get beyond, like, I don't know, 12 or 13 hearts, then you can start skipping heart pieces, but until then, that's not a corner that you want to cut. So there's your glove. So that would have saved you over a minute by itself. So this path here is probably fine if you have the shovel, but since you don't have the shovel, it's way faster to just save and quit from the game here. Okay, I maybe would have used bombs a little more, so usually people will chuck a bomb to the left side here to try and hit both of those mold orbs, but they don't always cooperate, so if you don't want to deal with that, that's fine. Yeah, so if you have flippers and mirror, I would put off Hobo, because the only way this works out is if he's got your Moon Pearl, and it's faster to just swim to him from Link's house and do it as a one-off. Or at least wait for the flute so you can flute away somewhere. This is just a lot of swimming, and swimming is slower than dashing. Kind of unfortunate that you did all this without... Did you not do ice? Oh, okay, your tracker's not working. Pretty sure you did Disrupt Cave. Yeah, and again, like, you need to get that item and then save and quit, because running out of here is very slow. And there's not really anywhere that you can get anywhere quickly. Or anytime quickly. So you're just spending a bunch of time on screens that you just don't even need to do. Don't dash upstairs. Alright, well, there's your Dark World access. I guess it's fine to go into Crystal Eastern Palace here. I might want to just go straight to Pod, but you're a little low on health. So, I don't blame you for wanting to just get the dungeon off the board. Okay, so this strat... So, here, you want to just walk straight up. Basically, the way that the skeletons get triggered is if you, like, cross this line, and I accidentally did, so, like, just, as long as you're not crossing that boundary line there, the skeletons won't ever appear. So you just have to make sure that once you cross that boundary line, you can get into position easily. So just go cardinal up so you don't accidentally cross the boundary line. Pick this up, and then you wanna just run into position. Just position yourself above that little skull on the floor. Throw the pot to the right, and then immediately go up here. Go a little bit down right. And then you'll hit the other one. You seem to have practiced dark rooms a lot, which is good. Dark rooms are really important. you're spending a lot of time in this room, and you're not even using the bow. Those guys die to one bow shot. So let's use the lamp first. So you can see that this guy is not very far to the right. So you just have to go just a very little bit. So what I do when this is in the dark, you hold sword out, just nudge over that little bit, start firing arrows. You'll eventually find him, and then just kind of inch closer to him. Make sure you release a spin there to scare that guy off, and then just find where the thing is. Just remember there's a pot to the right of the door. Okay, village is one thing that you could do. I'm not a big fan of going into the village without knowing what the crystals and pendants are. Because as soon as you touch the village of outcasts, you're committing yourself to at least the front 4 of thieves. And I just want to pare down my options before I make a commitment like that. And paring down your options can cause you to like decide to go to the back of a pendant thieves just because you have nothing better to do, and that can win you races sometimes. Okay, well it's a crystal, so it's fine. Go back and see something. Okay. So this path is 5 seconds slower than not doing that path. So you want to go to the left first. Grab this chest. This part was fine. You did this part right. So if you do this and wrap around here, you're doing 2 extra screen transitions that you don't need to do. So basically there's 2 paths here that you can take. I like this one. But I believe the faster one is this one, but it's only faster by a very little bit. Like if you end up taking damage from a Zazak, you're not only down 2 hearts, but you didn't even save any time. So yeah, just run around. so if you go and get the big chest, this brick will always respawn here, and at that point it's faster to just go the conveyor. I mean, Thieves is a pretty straightforward dungeon, that's why I didn't really have much to say about it. Alright, you're starting way far back on the blind fight, but if you can get it consistently, then, you know, there's no need to change. I'm not gonna go into minutia about big game. Don't forget to go back for Sick Kid, because I saw you haven't tracked it yet. You're hitting it. That's good. Yeah. So the only thing I'm gonna say here is, like, there's this huge group of checks here, and you don't really want to leave any of them behind, because they're things that can help you. You have a lot of equipment here, so it's pretty easy to identify where your check density is. Yeah, I probably wouldn't have started out in Village. I definitely would have, especially with Mitts already in hand, I would start out with Hype Cave just because of density. Like, Hype Cave gives you 5 checks without having to shuffle everything around. Or not shuffle everything around, go in and out of locations. Yeah, be careful where you put that portal. You don't have to be that close to the cliff ever. So this would have been your better chance to get Hobo, rather than just doing that slow swim. It's probably a time loss of about 12 seconds. You did already have Flipper's Mirror at that point, so yeah, try and put Hobo off when you have both Flippers and Mirror. If you're missing the mirror, then it's probably just fine to check it because it's a lower sphere location, but if you have both flippers and mirror, you can put it off. Yeah, so if you have... So, if you get a small key from here, which in the practice hack it'll always be a small key, but if you get a small key from here, it's better, instead of going straight to right side, it's better to just open this door. Come over here, switch to bombs, chuck a bomb over here, get that. If that's a key, then you want to go to big key chest, which is this one. If that's not a key, then you just fall straight down to Stalfos basement. But if you have the key to open this, you should. And then you jump down to Stalfos basement. And now this path gets you to the right side quicker, because it doesn't make you go down spiral stairs, and you're already in the area. That's not a bow. So, anyway, we're getting to that part of your run. Okay, that's fine. It's usually better... if you come from the right side here, you're not really gonna ever get these beetles in a good enough position. So it's better to just bonk off of the railing of the stairs there, and that's how you get back to here. Shoot this switch, reset the room to put the beetles back on the other side of the flaps, and then continue on to the back. Okay, good. You should always throw a bomb there. Yeah, if you're just a minor thing here, you can still get this column of rupees, but be over here and run down the middle, and then you're closer to where the gap is to get the chest. Again, it's minor. It's maybe a tile of movement, 5 frames or so. Okay, so I'm gonna take a look at this menu. So it's not bad to start menu here, but you're on the bow here and you want to get to the mirror. So the way to get from bow to mirror, start on bow, you press left, and now you're on the mirror. You have a lot of stuff in your start menu, so that's fine, but like bow to mirror is one that you're gonna do a lot. And also like if you're on bow, you can just press left quick swap and you're on the mirror. So you're gonna do that a lot, and that'll save a second every single time. Because you use... Here, let's count how many times you move through the... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, it takes about 3 frames every time you move, or you go through 3 idle frames and a 5-frame cutscene every time you move the cursor, times 6 cursor moves, that's 48 frames, and then a second to open the menu, so versus tapping one button. So this is a lot of where your time loss is just like taking suboptimal paths to things. Okay, you got a decent pattern for that, but you should probably look into other ways to kill Homisaur that involve less of using the bow. Now you were on Fighter Sword, so that wasn't an option, but you should probably look into the hammer kill. Okay, and we're just coming back here after failing Dark Room. Yeah, so this is the perfect time to clean this up. Yeah, and I wanted to show a different way of getting through that, because you're always gonna go through this Stalfos room with the bow. If you come to kill Armos Knights, unless the bow is like vanilla or in the big key chest or something like that. So basically you just walk up to this diamond tile right here. So just up left from the door until you hit that diamond tile. And then you just go left, down, right. You don't need to have your sword out here. Yeah, it looks like you're setting up to do the right thing, just didn't execute it that time. That's good for now, but like, should look into the Armos quick kill that starts on the top right. Up the mountain. Yeah, that's probably your best bet at this point. Yeah, like, you should not be scared of Pyramid and Catfish right now, especially, like, as soon as you get fire, you're gonna have access to the Pyramid, and if you don't get fire from this trip, you're probably just headed to Pyramid Catfish anyway. Yeah, the way to get across that pit is to do a bomb jump. I want to go from that side. So, the way that I set this up is I make sure I'm against this torch, grab the wall and hold up left, and then just maintain the up left until you get the item, and then release your directions, place your bomb, and nudge to the edge of the pit, and you'll go through. The other way to set this up is to have your sword out, make your sword touch the black line right here on the hint tile. Actually, I'm one pixel too far to the left. So make sure your sword is pointing at like where the black and the gray meet there, and then you just back straight up and you let the bomb do its thing. You should look into bomb jumping to the big chests. You won't have to do it very often, but it'll save you a lot of time when you do. Before we do one more, and I'll just show how I do this. Or, I don't actually do it this way, I do it a different way, but what I think you should do is come up to this pit, make sure nothing's gonna annoy you,
have your sword out, and then like back up until you start falling, and then release your spin and hold away from the pit. So you can see Link's kind of kicking his feet a little bit there because he's falling into the pit. Releasing the spin stops that from happening, and holding away from the pit puts you on the right pixel or the last pixel that you don't fall on. And then you just place the bomb, and letting you bomb jump. Yeah, you want to use hammer on every hit, just so he doesn't go into the enrage phase. Otherwise, that was fine. Like you whiffed a couple of hits, but it's gonna take a while until you figure out how Moblurm's movement works. So I'd rather you be swinging for it and missing than just running around and not doing any damage. There's also a bomb jump there. There's also a bomb jump there that is less finicky than other bomb jumps. Like going up and down, bomb jumps are a little finickier, and then going left and right, they're a little more forgiving. So basically, so you basically just want to go down as far as you really dare to. And there's a pretty generous window here. You don't have to go all the way to the bottom, but if you master that spin setup, you can just do a spin setup there. But it's not required. You can just hit it like that. Once you do your vertical lineup, your horizontal lineup you can just tap until you tap left, and then it spits you back right. Like that. And that's where you place your bomb. And that's how you do that. I wouldn't be too concerned about that bomb jump, or even like the Hera bomb jump just yet. It seems like you can... Seems like once you find the save and quit menu, then that'll be a good thing. Yeah, you got to go through. There's a check that's in Logic and Hookshot Cave that you didn't get. You should have gotten it before doing this. So now you're gonna have to climb all the way back up. Oh yeah, you didn't want to leave Hookshot. So you left both Hookshot Cave and Spike Cave. So one check in Hookshot Cave that's in Logic with the boots. Like, you got rewarded for waiting to come up the mountain. Because you got to come up here with, like, mitts and hammer, so you were able to hit everything at once. So you don't want to give up that advantage by leaving something here and having to make the second climb anyway. So, get rid of this guy as he gets in the way. You can just bonk off of that pot, bonk off of this pot. This chest is in logic. It can have your hook shot. Nice water dash. We're going to desert. Okay. Yeah, clearable green pendant. Might as well. Plus, get to clean up your last Sphere 1 check. So you are still searching at least for, no, you're not searching for a medallion, actually. So after that fire rod, you are searching for hookshot. Okay, so this probably means that you're finishing out the dungeon, which is good. You should definitely finish out this dungeon. We know we can't get into Turtle Rock, so the only thing that fire rod gets us is potentially 2 items in Skullwoods, but also potentially 0 items in Skullwoods, because theoretically the 2 items can just be not fire rod locked and you can get them right away. You'll only make that mistake a couple times till you figure out where the keys and stuff are. So for that room, there. For this room, you went above this torch, which here I just got blocked. Here I didn't get blocked, so like this strat is faster, but it's RNG dependent. And it's only faster by about 5 frames or so. So a frame is a 60th of a second, so 5 frames would be what, a 12th of a second? So that's not really worth it. This is 100% effective to go below the torch there. Because when you're here, only the bottom half of the room is loaded right now. It's only when you come up here that the top half of the room loads for resource management purposes. So by going down here and not loading the room until you're already like all the way through it, basically, you will always get past that popo. Lighting those with the fire rod is faster, but not by enough that I really care about it. Oh, you're probably trying to conserve magic, actually, in case you miss. Yeah. That might be a better call. You're doing a really good job of keeping your tracker up to date, too. You didn't... Like, so many people will just... like sit and fiddle with their auto tracker until it starts auto tracking, and then they end up losing like 7 minutes in the race and wonder why they're doing badly. So just manually tracking on the fly like that was a good choice. Yep, so you have the cape, you might as well check this. Honestly, you should have gotten King's Tomb a long time ago, because you've had mitts forever. But it's fine, you have a million opportunities for it. Yeah, and this is the right time to clean this up too. I may have gone and killed Moth first, and then done the rest of the dungeon until I found something, and then done all these checks, and then continue on to Catfish. Oh yeah, that'll bonk you every time. Just bonk over the portal, and then go in from the top. So if you're coming from this side, it's better to just go in the front here for Skull Woods. You don't need to go all the way around and pick up that rock. Picking up those big rocks is like 2.5 seconds. And because you have the mirror, you want to try to avoid falling down. Oh, okay, you do know this bomb jump. Okay. Well, this bomb jump is the same as the Hera one. It just has less punishment for failure. You're not going up far enough, by the way. Yeah, and that's why you don't want to fall down. Because it messes with where your mirror takes you. So if you have the mirror, then you should just avoid falling unless you have to. You have the Cane of Samaria, so you don't need to do the statue. You can just put a Samaria block on it. I think you're trying to menu too fast. Like, if you slow down your menus and just make them accurate instead of fast, I think you'll find that you are cutting your time down quite a bit. Because like you're trying to find all these optimal paths on the fly, and it's not giving you good consistent menus. Yeah, switching to lamp for that first one is not good. Just fire out all of them. Okay. So the hammer would have made that fight a lot quicker. Hammer does tempered sword damage versus the fighter and master sword damage that you're getting with slashes, spins, and fire rod. You got the green pendant like a million years ago and you still haven't turned it in. The whole reason for getting the green pendant is to go turn it in, so you should probably do that sometime soon. I don't like going for Zora here. This is just going to take too long for only one check. You can go Pyramid Catfish in the same amount of time and get 2 checks out of it, and then Mirror to Zora for a 3rd check. I would have definitely done the shovel there. It's definitely looking like you... Oh, yeah, I guess Ice Palace is a thing. Ice Palace can be hookshot locked, though, so I probably still would have done the shovel to try and get the hookshot. Yeah, also, going all the way to Zora before going into Ice Palace. If Ice Palace was the plan, then you need to follow the plan. Do the things you have to do first. This is a crystal dungeon. It's something you have to do to complete the game. So do that before you do optional things like Zora. So you can take advantage of being on fast ROM here. And just go down a little bit from the door so that you place bombs on this second tile. Place 2, throw 1 to the left, and then kind of stay up at the top for a little bit so that you make sure that those guys are going to go into the bomb path. Should be able to hit all of them pretty consistently. Okay, that was a little too early. You do need to delay a little bit. So that it hits this guy, but yeah, that's how you do that room. And you're not bomb jumping, so you don't have any reason to save bombs at the moment. You have to, after you place your block, you have to go 1 frame to the left. Yeah, there, you got it. You actually have to exit door state to get the Samaria block down to extend the door state. And that's why you have to go back into the door. I'm gonna go back a second. These Stalfoses, don't worry about them. If they end up dropping in your path, then like just slice them down. But unless you know like what prize pack they're in, I wouldn't worry about bombing them like that. If this is the way that you're familiar with, then that's fine. It is slightly faster to come back the way you came in. It's really hard to spin these guys. Goldstair's a hard boss, and it gets even harder when the seed just won't give you a sword, so... Okay. I don't mind coming back. You had enough magic, and you know where you can get some more, so... There's not gonna be a whole lot else here. Oh, we're getting... okay. So there were two ways to force a magic drop there. You can either kill the Stalfos Knights again, because they were in the magic pack, and we know that because it dropped magic last time. The other way to force a drop from, well, it would be from a different pack, but would have been to... oh, there's no freezable enemies in there, is there? Alright. Never mind. But another way to force a drop from that pack is to use the Ice Rod and then hammer the enemy. Alright, this is just Ice Take 3. Okay, finally went back to Saha. Yeah, when you get the green pendant, you should just, like, go turn it in right away. Because, like, part of the reason you did that potentially non-required dungeon is that you wanted the green pendant in order to turn it in. Definitely get some practice in on Cold Stare, especially on low equipment. "13 hearts and blue mail," it shouldn't necessarily be that much of a disaster. Yeah, this is not swamp time. You have Pyramid Fairy, Pyramid Catfish right there. And you set this up from the beginning. Yeah, see, this is just a huge waste of time right here. See, you go through this entire progression. You spend like 40-50 seconds doing this, and then you don't go into swamp.
and you may have realized that Big Bomb is now available, but, like, even if you do, like, you've already spent the time to do all this, and now you're just throwing it out the window. So, if you have already, like, drained the dam, and you're about to enter Swamp, and then you realize, oh, I shouldn't be doing this, you've already invested the time, and that's a lot of time to just throw away.
It probably wasn't the worst idea for you to grab another one of those reds. Yeah, I definitely would have followed that up with Catfish. But, you know, going back to the mountain for 2 checks seems bad. I mean, the shovel check... Shovel check is one that you can easily overlook, because it's just so easy to do it from a save and quit. So yeah, YOLOing into Hookless Swamp is not the worst thing, just because you're down to so few checks. Yeah, you can't do that without the hook shot. So that didn't work out, but it is what it is. Just because it didn't work out this time doesn't mean that it can't have been the answer. Okay, well that opens Turtle Rock.
Yeah, this is kind of terrible to get to, but it is your best play. I might have just cleaned up catfish just to make absolutely sure that this is required, and catfish is your last. Because if your hookshot's just on catfish, you don't need to do this at all. And it's your last check that's not on the mountain. So by doing catfish there, you would make absolutely sure that this is your last mountain climb. I definitely would have gone to Hookshot Cave first, but this is fine. I may have even done like Spike Cave into Hookshot Cave at this point. Just like make the game make you come in here. Oh, you can just go straight up. You don't need to go all the way around there. Yeah, so that's another start menu that could have been quick swapped. Just one bump to the right. The bottom left pot in that room has magic. If you ever run out like this. It's a lot faster to get to the Turtle Rock Big Chest. It's a lot faster to get to the Turtle Rock Big Chest than it is to get to Mimic Cave, so what a lot of people will do there is just pop into TR, grab the big chest, and then pop out if it's not the item they need. So, Mimic Cave, you want to use your hammer for the whole thing. The hammer's required for the chest anyway. So what I do here is I'll usually just start menu to the hammer here. Dash up, hammer the things, hammer that, hammer those guys. It's a lot better than trying to aim arrows and trying to like finagle them into position. If you just do this every time, they'll always be in the same spot. And then there's just some optimization that you can do with it, with like hammer dashing. Roughly something like that, but yeah, just hammer here. That's not a hammer. Hammer here, dash up, hammer that, hammer, hammer.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate that that's the answer too, because you could have had that Bombos medallion a bajillion years ago. Okay, this is the correct thing to do. So technically you can enter GT right now, but you need a sword. You need at least one sword. And you can't rely on it being in GT. So I like going to Laser Bridge, and I would definitely use your magic here though. Rather than taking the safety door, I would just use the cape here. Because you don't need magic for Swamp Palace. Well, you need like one Samaria block of magic for Swamp Palace, and then I would just do this entire room with the cape, and then you get the refill after Swamp. If you're doing the entire room with the cape, just leave it on, because it takes like a minimum amount of magic to activate. So leaving it on can actually result in using less magic. Alright, so in this situation, it's probably best to check things that are on the way. Versus just checking everything in the dungeon. You should definitely learn Diver Down. It saves a bunch of time. Saves like, I think it's like 8 seconds. But yeah, you're gonna do Diver Down a lot, so highly recommend. Yeah, I'm probably not getting these chests if I don't Diver Down. Diver Down makes those chests a lot easier to get because you're already in the room. But that's kind of a comfort level thing. Like you probably want all 3 of the swords that are left. Where like I'm just gonna go mode stuff if I have a master sword. Yeah, spinning these puffs is a lot faster than Menu Stravaganza. And this takes forever even on 2x speed. You already have the hammer out, so you should be using it. And don't hammer upwards. The hammer hitbox going upwards sucks. You also have silver arrows, and Argus will die to a silver arrow shot. In fact, silver arrows actually kill puffs as well. So you can do like that and just quick swap back and forth. This is the strat for swordless. Just don't do that. But if you're gonna do like a menu fight, it's a lot better to menu between the hookshot and the bow. Just be careful when you're at the bottom of the room. Like always go over here so that you don't end up taking a bunch of damage.
I do not approve of going back for this, but
Cool sword. Yeah, it's fine to check Hookshot Cave for another sword there. Oh, and you got half magic from it, so that's nice. If I get a key there, I'm definitely going to the right side. And if I don't get a key there, I don't really have a choice. I like strats that eliminate choices. If you're having to stun these skeletons in order to kill them, I would recommend just using Ether in that room and just be done with it. Ether takes 4.5 seconds, and I guarantee that what you're doing is not killing them in 4.5 seconds. Nice flute. Okay, I guess that's another way to get through there. Ice Armos time. If you go left, that's the other thing that I don't like about this is like getting to Ice Armos from the right side is absolutely terrible. So that means that you're gonna do Ice Armos before you go back to Compass Room, and if the big key is in Compass Room, which there are 4 chests in Compass Room versus like I guess there's 4 chests down here too, but yeah. I don't know. A lot of the there's a lot of stuff that becomes suboptimal in GT, so just pick the route that you like and stick with it, because it's gonna be very you're gonna win some and you're gonna lose some, and sometimes the key's just in tile room and everybody loses. You never know what the optimal strat is for GT until you know where the big key is, but by the time you find the big key, it doesn't really matter to you what the optimal strat was. I would try not to use Bombos as much as possible. It's a big magic drain. You don't have any magic recovery at the moment, and every enemy has to spend 2 seconds burning to death, plus it costs like 5.5 seconds to cast. So let's just start in G1 and we'll I guess I should give myself Master Sword, because that's what you have. So you should definitely be using your bow a lot more, like right there, and if that guy jumps away, you can do it there. Essentially for G1, You kind of just want to shoot that guy. If that guy goes down, shoot him. And then just kind of clean the room up. Here, you want to use some pots for killing skeletons. Here, it's fine to use the fire rod a little bit, but try not to. Here, you want to try and hit him into the spike, but if you miss, then that's fine. He just dies to another slash anyway. And then here, you want to either fire rod or bow that guy, but my fire rod shot missed, so now I have to go chase him. But yeah, use your bow more, and then you'll be able to save some magic, because right now you don't have enough magic for upstairs. I mean, technically you do, but you're gonna have to take a bunch of slow paths to recover.
You have your bow out, you should use it. There you go. You missed the full magic there. Yeah, always start on the bottom if you're doing the backup here. Okay, you've waited too long. You just have to wait for that to go out. Yeah, okay, you did. Good. Hey, there's the sword. Alright, well that worked out. Okay. This is fine, I just want to show you one little trick you can do in this room. You're always going to want to have your hookshot out for this room, so you might as well use it against Moldarm too. When he starts going toward you like this, and he's gonna try to hit you, just deploy your hookshot, and then while the hookshot is out, just let go of the B button to swing your sword, and it'll always hit him. This always works. And if you don't need the hookshot, then you don't need it, but you need to have it out here, because I can't menu right now. Okay, I can use the crack hack menu, but I can't use the game menu. And that'll prevent you from like tanking him a million times like that, because you can just oh, be careful there. So when you're using the cape, make sure that you take it off before you get into a door. Because if you hit the door at the wrong time, you're gonna be cape glitched, and you don't want that to happen to you in a race. It's pretty easily fixable, but if you don't know what it is, then you'll freak out. And I've seen someone actually lose a race because of that, because they thought they were soft locked and mirrored out. So yeah, cape is one strat to get through this room. I don't like it, because I don't really like cape strats for anything, but so yeah, you just basically do exactly what you did, but you want to turn it off before getting into the door. But a better strat would be to use the hookshot that you already have equipped. Try and hookshot that guy, and then everything just lines up for you to get out of the room. If you hit him with the hook shot, you have to slash for timing. But if you don't hit him with the hook shot, you can just dash all the way up. Like that. Yeah, try not to be at an angle. Try to be like in a cardinal direction from him, because this game is bad at calculating angles, and you can be in a position where it looks like it's going to work, but then the game calculates the angle wrong and it ends up missing. That doesn't happen if you just stay with cardinals. I have a lot more to say about Agatu, but a lot of it is not really relevant. And make sure you're counting your hits. You know when you're done and when you need to do more. You have a fairy in a bottle here, so I would just let it trigger. Yeah, actually, nah. Go ahead and use the potion. It's less time because you don't have to go through the death animation. Or even better, just release the fairy and use it, because the fairy is only ever worth 7 hearts. And the red potion is worth 14 at this point. Okay. Looks like you have a basic plan there, you just need to, like, actually do it. Okay. So yeah, basically it's just you're wasting a good bit of time like running everywhere instead of using the save and quit feature. Your basic routing decisions seem okay. There was just like a few things that I didn't agree with because I thought you had better stuff to do. Try not to leave checks behind. When you were on Dark Death Mountain, you definitely should have bonked to the Hookshot Cave chest, and you definitely should have done Spike Cave while you were up there. Like, once you're in an area, try to clear out everything in that area. And learn to love catfish, because I don't know why you skipped it for the whole game. You had plenty of chances to go to it. So, that's what I've got. If you've got any questions, don't be afraid to ask.